Well, the Toronto International Film Festival is all but history right now, and the Oscar race has been transformed thanks to the fall festival trifecta of Venice, Telluride, and Toronto. It's further defined the race, which was, middling at best. I thought Boyhood, which was released in the summer, was probably the only major contender for Best Picture that we'd seen released all this year. Foxcatcher, of course, was seen at the Cannes Film Festival in May and really made a splash. I think that is a major contender. Now, beyond that, we've had to wait for these fall fests to further define the race, and they have. Two British films, The Theory of Everything, starring Eddie Redmayne as Stephen Hawking, a heartbreaking performance, and Felicity Jones as his wife. Both should get lead acting nominations. This film will probably get a Best Picture nomination and do well across the board. The Imitation Game world premiered at the Telluride Film Festival and continued its run at Toronto, dazzling audiences with, I think, the best work ever by Benedict Cumberbatch as tortured genius Alan Turing, and Keira Knightley in a fine supporting turn in this film as well. And then throw in Birdman from the Venice and Telluride Film Festivals. That is an actor's delight. Michael Keaton in the performance of his life, Edward Norton, Emma Stone, high-wire directorial act by Alejandro Gonzalez Iñárritu. I think the actors branch will thrust this one into the Best Picture conversation as well.
Is this for real, or are you shooting a film?
A film!
You people are full of crap!
Bubbling Under, Wild with Reese Witherspoon, certainly at the very least a performance that should put her in the Best Actress race again. And Jon Stewart's Rosewater, his writing and directorial debut, I was really impressed with that. A fine political drama tinged with humor. He really is assured behind the camera as much as he is in front of the camera. Bill Murray's St. Vincent, the movie The Good Lie from Warner Brothers, which is about the Sudanese refugees finding a new life in America.
You must be the guys from Somalia, Senegal,
Sudan.
Did your luggage come down the chute? Great.
And Pride, which CBS Films has picked up. And CBS Films plans to do a campaign for this, sort of a la The Full Monty a few years ago, which went on to get a Best Picture nomination. In the acting categories, in addition to who I've already mentioned, Robert Downey Jr. and Robert Duvall opened the Toronto Film Festival, and they are at the top of their game in the movie The Judge, which Warner's releases in October. This movie got somewhat mixed reviews out of Toronto, but certainly not for its two leads. Both of them deserve Academy Award consideration, I think, for this film. Julianne Moore had two movies debut here. One, Still Alice, was a world premiere. She plays a victim of onset of Alzheimer's disease, and she's heartbreakingly good. So good that Sony Pictures Classics immediately snapped up this movie and will be releasing it this Oscar season with a big campaign for Julianne Moore, to be sure. She's also great in Maps to the Stars, first seen at Cannes, where she won an acting award for it. My guilty pleasure out of this festival, Jake Gyllenhaal is a creepy LA news cameraman who rushes to crime scenes, shoots graphic footage, and sells it to this unscrupulous news director at a Los Angeles news station. That movie was an eye-opener, and Renee Russo's doing her best Faye Dunaway and Network in that film too. Timothy Spall, who won in Cannes, is terrific in Mr. Turner. Miles Teller and J.K. Simmons in Whiplash. And then I want to mention three more movies that are looking for distributors and want to get into the Oscar race. Kevin Costner giving the best performance, I think, since the heyday, A Field of Dreams, in black and white, which also features a fine turn from Octavia Spencer. Jennifer Aniston, completely transformative, unrecognizable, sans makeup in Cake, a really engaging and touching movie. She could find herself with the Best Actress nomination. And certainly Michael Shannon and Andrew Garfield are terrific in the edge-of-your-seat thriller 99 Homes, which debuted at Venice, it debuted at Telluride, and it debuted at Toronto, and it was a smash in all three places. This has been an exciting fall launch for the award season. We've got a long way to go, folks. 6 months about, but we know a little bit more than when we came in. We'll follow it all the way. I'm Pete Hammond for Deadline.